That was crazy. You know, we were pretty much in control of the game. Um, we had a feeling we were going to score. Like, it was coming. We were putting it on them. They were playing great defensively. Their back line, their keeper made some unbelievable saves, so they were a tough opponent for sure. And to have Cori come in and have the game winner, I'm so pumped for her. That was so big time.
Awesome.
Kylie, we'll get to the game in a second, but just for you personally, 100 games with this club, had a moment just now a little bit with the fans and the jersey and everyone, your family and everything. Just what did that mean to you to be able to not only have that moment, but also, have a win to go with it?
It's a surreal moment for sure. To be honest, it's something I never thought I would achieve. My journey's been kind of crazy, even before here, even since I got here. So to achieve that and to have my family and my husband and all my teammates here, it was a really special moment to celebrate with the fans and everybody. It's up there in my career for sure, and I have to thank Cori Dyke for putting the cherry on top, because it wouldn't have been as sweet without the win. Without the win, I don't enjoy that half as much as I did. So thank you, Cori.
Is this one of those moments where you kind of owe her a meal or something?
What's that?
Is this one of those moments where you kind of owe her a meal or drink?
Oh,
or something?
at least.
All right, back to the game now. You talked about just how good Houston was defensively and trying to break them down, especially in the second half. You bring on Barber, you bring on Marta, get a little bit more flow attacking-wise. Just kind of what did you see within the flow of the game from the first to second half?
I mean, we say it all the time. We need everybody, every single player this year. It's a long season. It's a hard season. This league is tough. So we need every single player. I think the best teams in this league have a lot of depth, and our depth, we talked about it before the game. You think of depth and it's like this, but our depth is like here. The standard doesn't drop off. Whoever steps on that field, we know they're going to get the job done. So I think everybody did great. Julie Doyle to come back, she had a great game. And it looked like she's, back like she never left. So I think that's something that we're really, that's going to bring us success.
You about Julie, just from her, getting hurt in that first game back 3 months ago now, to be able to come back, start, and have the first half that she did. I mean, just how proud are you of her being able to make that comeback and like you said, back like she never left?
Yeah, we knew she was going to have a great game. She's been great in training. She's such an important part to this team. She brings something different. She brings so much energy on and off the ball. She's a hungry player. So it was so exciting to have her back on the field, and we're really going to need her this year.
It's kind of in the second half as you were putting on the pressure, and teams have started doing this a lot more now, playing five in the back, really bunkering back. How much just is that frustrating for you and trying to break down those low blocks, trying to, you're stepping up a little bit higher, trying to get the balls in. Just how are you kind of dealing with that as teams start to do that a lot more often this season?
It's a new challenge for us for sure. We know that it's being effective. Teams are going to do whatever it takes to beat us. And we're up for the challenge. We have to problem solve. We have to find new ways to score. And I think our game is evolving in that way. So I think, we're taking more steps towards solving that, and we had our chances tonight. We created a lot of chances, and like I said, I think Houston played great defensively.
The first half was quite even, and then you guys really stepped it up in the second half. Can you talk about what kind of changes helped that in the second half?
I mean, I think we just wanted to do more of the same. We did change our formation a bit halfway through, but we were creating our chances. I think this team, we have so much belief in ourselves. I think we knew we were going to score. Like, we never, ever give up, and that's just who we are and part of our identity.
You guys went into a little bit of a slump leading into the Utah game, and you had the big 3 goals in that game. Now you come 3 points tonight. Can you talk about how big that is leading up into the last 2 games before the summer break?
Yeah, we talked about going into the Utah game. Our form wasn't great, so we knew how important that Utah game was leading into the international break, and now these 3 games leading into the even longer break for the Euros. So yeah, we wanna get that momentum back, and yeah, just keep growing and learning each game.
Back to Austin.
Kylie, just last question for you personally. Since you got here from day one to now, kind of retrospective, looking back, what's kind of the thing that has stood out to you the most of your time here in Orlando, and that thing that you've kind of treasured the most through these 100 games?
It's really hard to pick just one. I think just the teammates that I've had, that's forever. The games, the wins, the losses. You remember some, not all, but it's the people that you do it with every single day. You go through those ups and downs, and that's what makes it all worth it. So they've gotten me through a lot, the highs and lows. So they're the best.
All right, Cori. So first of all, congrats on the win. Just your initial thoughts on the match.
Thank you. I thought it was a good, hard game. I thought the team played well, and we're super happy to get the 3 points tonight. Houston was a good opponent, and they play really good soccer. And so I think we had some different challenges breaking that down, but we were super resilient and persistent in that pursuit of the goal. We had the chances, and we knew it was coming, and I'm just really proud of the whole group for staying committed to it.
Awesome.
Cori, just special moment. Not sure if you could have dreamt it the way that it ended up happening, but getting your first goal with the literal last kick of the game, just kind of walk me through the moment and then the celebration, just what's going through your head in that moment.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I do think, those are, the moments that you dream about, last play of the game, something super cool like that. So to have that happen was so special, and, all I thought about in that moment was just, I just want to celebrate with my teammates. They've been so great and so supportive of me through my entire journey here. So, once I saw the ball hit the back of the net, that was my first thought. Oh, my gosh, I can't wait to go run and celebrate with them.
What did you see on the play leading up to it? Obviously, Summer with a little stutter step into the box, and then the ball just kind of falls nicely to you. Just walk me through what you saw.
Sure, yeah. I mean, shout out Summy for, she's so good at that, getting end line, beating her players, putting a great ball in. And I think I just saw that space on the backside and wanted to get in there. I knew it was the last play, so I was like, let's take a chance on it. And then when it fell to me, I just was, all that was going through my head was just stay composed and get it on frame.
Was just in here, getting her 100th game in a win like that. And she said she owes you a dinner and then some. Just how special is it to be able to get her, vice captain, who's kind of the leader on this team, to get her a win in that moment for her?
For sure. I mean, I would run through a brick wall for Kylie. So I told her that after the game. I was like, that was all for you. She's been such an incredible leader and player and someone I really look up to. I can't say that enough. She's the best. So it was really special to do that for her tonight.
Just kind of going through the flow of the game. First half, very even, very back and forth, not too many chances. And you bring in Barbara, you bring in Marta, you get 7 shots on target before yours at the end of the game. Just kind of how did you see the game flow, especially coming into the game in the second half?
I mean, I think we felt good going into the second half. We knew we were going to come out strong because it was hot out. We were tired, but we knew we had more in us. And so I think we came out with an extra amount of hunger to go and get that goal. And we just had that belief that it was going to happen.
I was just in here talking about the depth of this team, how many games there are in the course of the season. You've got Champions Cup coming up and all these other things. Just having the ability to start players like Julie Doyle, who's coming off of injury and, playing a good 45 minutes, and then being able to bring a player like Marta and Barbara off the bench. I mean, just how does that speak to the depth of this team and the ability to, having all these players not leave a drop-off when they leave or come in?
For sure. I mean, I think it's something that's going to help us down the stretch tremendously. We have so many incredible players on this team. The training environment day in and day out is top notch. And I think that's something that sets us apart is just how many talented players we have and how we can put really anyone on the field and the level doesn't drop.
Seb talks a lot about players coming on and taking advantage of their opportunities. Can you talk about, this year you've been kind of in and out of the lineup. Can you talk about the mindset of being able to come in and out of the lineup, and then also a moment like tonight where you get that game-winning goal, what that means when you have that kind of situation?
Sure. I mean, like I said, we have so many incredible players on this team, so I'm always happy to do whatever the team needs. And I think tonight, like once I got my opportunity, like I wanted to make the most of it, and it was just super exciting to be able to get that goal tonight. I feel like my mentality going into every game, no matter the situation, is just I take care of my preparation and just trust in my ability. And once I get out there, I kind of just let all my other thoughts go and just enjoy it. And it was good tonight to be able to do that with the group.
Cori, your goal was the 7th this team has scored in the final 15 minutes of a game, which is more than any other team in NWSL. What is it about this team that they, have those moments late in games to change results and to, get draws, wins, etc.?
I think it's just that resiliency that we have and just the belief in one another that we're going to get the job done. And I think, it's just that trust. Like, I knew Sumi was going to beat her player and get the ball in the box, and, like, we just rally around that, I think.
All right, we'll get started here with Coach Seb. Coach, first of all, congrats on the win. Just your initial thoughts on the match.
A roller coaster of emotions, but managed to get the job done tonight. One thing I'll give credit to this team, we'll go until the final whistle, and we're so pleased that we managed to get that goal towards the end and come away with 3 points.
Awesome.
Seb, I'm sure it's not the way you envisioned the game going, but just first half to second half, it was very even first half. Second half, you bring in Marta and Barbara, it kind of changes the pace of the game. Just kind of what did you see from half to half in terms of the flow of the game?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows we made, a choice with the selection. We made a lot of changes going into this game, and I stick by it. You have to take into consideration the amount of travel that some of our players have done, the competitiveness of international football as well. And it's not ideal, but this is why we have a great squad. And so players come in and they play a role in what you're trying to achieve. And it was like Julie's first game back since the start of the season. So yeah, of course it's difficult to get to the pace of the game, but I thought she did well. Likewise with Summer as well. But yeah, listen, we've got to use our roster. We've got to use our players. They're great players and they need opportunities to play. And sometimes the ones who have played significant minutes need to have a step back and reflect and look from a different perspective and then come on and make a difference. And I felt like our players did that tonight.
Just want to talk about Julie for a second. Obviously, you mentioned, since March 14th was the last time she played, came off against Chicago and after scoring a goal, but just getting her 45 minutes, what have you kind of seen in her build-up, her return to play, and just, the trust that you have in starting her, coming back?
I think all our players have different qualities, and I think one of Julie's qualities is, her movement and her ability to be unpredictable with defenders. I think, her ability to drop down and get a defender to commit, and it may free up someone else to run in behind, and it's just building that connection with the players around her. It didn't always work today in the first half, but she's a quality player. We needed her to get onto the field and play minutes, so she can build that momentum going into the next 2 games before the summer break. So yeah, it was a challenge for Julie, but she stood up to the challenge, and we got a good 45 minutes out of her.
Going to the very end of the game now, literal last kick of the game, Cori gets her first professional goal. You guys get the 3 points. Just how proud are you of Cori being in the right place at the right time, just having that moment for her as a defender? I know you probably have a little bit extra appreciation for a defender scoring a game winner.
Yeah, great finish as well from a defender. I don't think defenders get enough credit for their finishing ability. So, yeah, she took her goal really well. She gambles, in that back post. We had to make adjustments to the formation as we're pushing on and trying to get that winning goal. So, having her play as a left of a 3 in the second half, and then, going back to right back and us playing as a 4-2-3-1 shape towards the end, and just gambling on a back zone. I think we created a lot of opportunities today. But this is the challenges we face week in, week out. You know, teams are content with getting a lot of numbers behind the ball, throwing their bodies on the line. I thought Abby Smith made some really good saves tonight as well, which kept him in the game. And then, obviously, Houston looking to hit us in transition. So we have to be, concentrating at the back as well to negate any sort of opportunities. And I thought we did really well to stop that. But yeah, as we push him numbers forward, the ball lands to Cori. She takes a touch and then hits it, bottom corner. And it was just more of a relief because we'd been putting the pressure on towards the end of the game.
Just from the service for Summer, not really expected to start the game, comes in after the first minute and plays a full 90. Just obviously, unexpected from a game plan standpoint, but just her play overall, going a full 90. Just what did you make of her game?
Yeah, you have to be adaptable, of course. Things change quickly. But yeah, for Summy, she brings a different type of quality. Her 1v1 ability in small spaces is incredible, and that little bit of separation to find the free player, which obviously was Cori, and it's just hard because you're restricted to not a lot of space in those moments, and we're finding that every single game, and so it's fine margins. I think as well, there's moments where we can be a little bit more aggressive in getting in those dangerous areas, a little bit more calmer in front of goal as well to finish the strike rather than just shoot, and obviously it hits the goalkeeper. So these are things that we're constantly working on, but I can't fault the players' attitudes because they are giving absolutely everything to try and win the game.
Can you talk about the beginning of the game? Morgan was in the lineup and then had to be replaced by Summer, and what happened there?
Listen, we make a decision to select to start and line up. We leave it until as long as possible. Morgan was just feeling a little bit underwhelmed going into the game, and we just have to make a decision. And Summer was ready. She was brilliant, Summer, with a quick turnaround for herself. And like I said, you just have to be adaptable in those moments.
You've talked a lot about this season about players getting their opportunities and taking advantage of those opportunities. You just mentioned Summer coming in and making an impact. Obviously, Cori with the game-winning goal. Can you talk about those players and impact tonight, and also some of the players coming off the bench, not playing as many minutes as they normally do in a game and making an impact?
Yeah, I mean, you named a couple. Barbara coming off the bench, that's a role she hasn't played since she came to the club. Marta as well, coming off the bench and bringing that energy, and as well as Priska as well. I thought Priska came on and make a real difference, being really direct, taking on players, getting inside the box, putting some really dangerous crosses into the area. And so, listen, as a substitute, you have to be a game changer. And I thought, their roles were a little bit different to recent weeks. Some of those players have been starters for us, and they've done their role, for 90 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever it is, and it's allowed other players to come on and make a difference. And it's a different perspective. You're 0-0 going into the second half, and you make changes, and it's like, can you make an impact to this game and be a game changer? And I think they certainly did that tonight.
You've spoken about, you went through a little bit of a slide, and you spoke about wanting to get back kind of to your winning ways heading into the summer break. Now you've got the first two of those four have been wins. Can you talk about the confidence that gives the team heading into these last two games before the break?
Yeah, momentum's massive. I think we showed that last year, but I think it's a different type of challenge this year. Obviously, we've said it at the start of the year. We've got a target on our backs. Teams can come to Inter&Co Stadium and maybe be content with a 0-0. That's where we're at. Teams may have a completely different game plan against those two recent other games. So we know that that's the challenge. We know that winning in this league is incredibly difficult. No more so than having a team come here and sit everyone back and be content with 0-0. So, like I said early on in this, the players are giving absolutely everything. They're not leaving a drip of sweat off the field, and so they are, putting absolutely everything into it. And you can see when you do that, you can get the rewards that you aspire to do at the start of the game. So we have to continue to put the pressure on. It's not going to be easy. It's never easy. We go to Bay now, which is another cross-country trip for us. But we should be ready to go with another performance away from home.
Seb, I just wanted to ask you about Kylie, obviously getting her moment after the game, 100 matches with this club. You've seen her since she first got to the club to where she is now. Just how special is it for her to hit the milestone, getting a win in said milestone, and just the player that she is, the person that she is to this club and what she means?
She epitomizes this club. She epitomizes what this team's about. It's been an amazing experience to be part of Kylie's growth. To see her when she first came in to where she's at now, and she probably don't mind me saying this, it's been night and day. She really took a leadership role when I took over. She stays true to our values, our core values. She's had buy-in from it. We've put faith in her, and she's rewarded us with the performance she's put in. And she's such a great role model to any player that comes into our environment. Can't believe that it's been 100 games. Like, that is just flown by. But credit to her, because she has put her head down. She's got on with it. She's made herself available, and hopefully she can get a lot more games moving forward. But there's not enough words to describe how great she has been for myself and this club.